As the film, Bird Box, starts, a woman is seen talking to her children. Her children appeared very scared. Their house was covered from all sides, with all windows, doors, and spaces sealed. The woman, named Mallory, had forbidden her children from looking outside. She tells them, "I am going to cover your eyes so that you don't see the outer world." After this, she ties blindfolds on her children's in her own eyes. She picks up a box containing birds, as these birds were able to locate the creature. She had tied a rope in front of her house. She uses this rope to reach the edge of a stream. A boat was also tied there. All three of them sit in the boat with their eyes closed. Mallory was rowing the boat, guided by the flow of the water. The scene then shifts to 3 years earlier. Mallory is an artist and is due to deliver her baby in a few days. She mostly stayed at her home. While she is painting, her friend comes to her and asks her to watch the news. The news reports on a virus that is causing people to attempt suicide. Mallory acknowledges that it had taken the lives of many people, but she initially ignores this, thinking people might be dying naturally. She then goes to a doctor, who informs her that her baby is normal and will arrive soon. As she exits, she witnesses a woman hitting her head on glass, as if willing to take her life. This frightens Mallory. She sits in a car with her friend and observes that the virus had infected their country as well, with people taking their lives and dying after hurting themselves in different ways. While driving home, Mallory's friend sees something strange. Upon seeing it, her eye color and facial expression change. She appeared scared and worried. She drives wildly, which causes an accident in their car. Mallory's friend then gets out of the car and attempts suicide by running in front of another car. Mallory is very upset witnessing all of this, as her best friend was killed here. Seeing Mallory standing there, a woman offers her to come inside her house. However, it is then observed that the eyes of that woman also began to change. She sits in a burning car, is set on fire, and dies. Then, a boy named Tom arrives and helps Mallory by taking her inside a house where other people are also present. He instructs everyone to close all doors and windows and cover their eyes so they don't see the outer world. Another pregnant woman is also seen, who appears very sad. The movie returns to the present time, one day after Mallory had left. She had some necessary stuff and food items. Mallory used to cover her face under a sheet if she wanted to talk to her children or do something. She spoke very politely after untying her blindfold. Here, she hears a man's voice. His eyes are bare, and he seems very weird. He was compelling them to untie their blindfolds. Mallory feels negativity and starts shooting towards that voice. When Mallory doesn't listen to him, he comes beside her boat and tries to untie her blindfold. But suddenly, Mallory stabs him to death. Then they set out. The movie flashes back to the past again, showing a scene from that house where 1 month had passed since Mallory arrived. During this time, many people were killed outside. As many people were living in the house, eatables started to run short. They were worried about their survival and thought of ways to bring food from outside, but everyone's eyes were closed. The house owner tells them about the CCTV cameras outside the house, suggesting that if they use them, nothing will happen to them. Everyone agrees. The house owner then states that he wants to experience it himself first. He tells them to tie him with a chair and go outside. They do the same, and he starts watching the CCTV footage. He initially sees nothing, but then his facial expressions begin to change, indicating he had seen that creature. He falls down and hits his head hard on the ground to attempt suicide. Everyone understood that this creature will harm you if you see it with a bare eye or even through a camera. However, it was necessary for them to bring food from outside, as they had to go to the grocery store. They sit in a car and cover its back camera so that they wouldn't be able to see their surroundings. They also cover all windows of the car. They were using GPS. Their eyes were covered, but to go to the grocery store, they were supposed to untie their blindfolds or find another way to go outside. Somehow, they managed to collect many things from the grocery store, enough to sustain them for many days. Then they get back home. There were also a boy and a girl who wanted to bring their own food, and they went to the grocery store in a car. Mallory and the other woman's babies were about to arrive. A man starts knocking at their door loudly, asking them to allow him to come into the house. Everyone wanted to let him in except an old man who considered him infected. As he comes inside, they check him. He tells them that he was also living in a house before. But then some people captured the house. These people came from a mental hospital, They were mad, and if they saw that creature, it wouldn't affect them. Their minds were unable to analyze it, and therefore, it didn't affect them. He claims they wanted everyone to untie their blindfolds, and they made everyone do this, causing people to start suiciding. The man claims he came there after running for his life. Everyone feels pity for him. Then, Mallory's baby and the other woman's baby were about to arrive. They take them to the upper floor. But that outsider man stays on the ground floor. He seemed very strange by his acts, and some strange sketches were in front of him, confirming he was a patient of a mental hospital. Everyone being upstairs, he takes advantage of it and starts opening the doors and windows. Then he comes upstairs. Mallory has a son, and the other lady has a daughter. He opens the window of their room as well. They weren't believing this. An old lady goes to stop him. But that bad guy opens her eyes to let her see. As she looks outside, she suicides. On the other side, the woman who gave birth to a daughter also takes her life. Now that man moves towards Mallory to kill her. But right then, Tom comes there. Only Tom, Mallory, and those two children are left in this house because Tom had killed that guy. Tom and Mallory then raise these children as parents, living with utmost care. They constantly explain to their kids not to untie their blindfolds. They had a rope tied with their house, and they also had ropes with them so that when they go outside, they can easily find their house. The mental hospital escapers are still out there, trying to kill them. They save themselves from them. If they felt hungry, they would go to other houses using this rope to find food. 5 years had passed since they were surviving. One day, they hear the voice of a mental patient. They come inside, saving themselves from it. Then they hear somebody's voice on the radio. The voice claimed that he was with other people and had a lot of eatable stuff. He offered help if anyone needed it, providing his address and welcoming them to collect anything they needed from that location. Tom takes out a map and starts searching. He thinks it would be easier to go to his house using the stream. He makes a boat for this purpose. Mallory, however, says that it might be a trick by those mental people. She questions who would want to be with them in such a difficult time, especially when they themselves are short of food. Despite Mallory's doubts, Tom and Mallory are in need of food and medicine, so they go outside. While going, some mental people stop them and move forward to kill them. Tom fights with them and asks Mallory not to worry and to go inside the house. He tells her that if he doesn't come back in a few minutes, she should take the children to the boat then. He reminds her to go to that place where she would find those people. Tom fights with the mental people extensively. During this fight, those mental people untie Tom's blindfold. But Tom somehow shoots them. Unluckily, that creature also comes there. Tom mistakenly looks at it, and his eyes also begin to change. He then grabs his gun and shoots himself. This was a sad scene. Then Mallory is shown. When she sees that time has passed and Tom hasn't come yet, she starts explaining to her children, a scene mirroring the beginning of the film. They are seen going into the river. The man who tried to kill them earlier, the mental patient, is seen again. His eyes are not covered, but he is still alive. The further journey shows how hard they travel. They had been traveling for 2 days and were also running out of food. Then suddenly, there is a storm in the water. The speed of the water becomes very fast. Mallory sees the map under a sheet and finds out that she is very near to that place. Passing through this particular place is the most dangerous. Then the boat capsizes due to the speed of the water, and the children fall into the water. Mallory finds the children by their voices and puts them back in the boat. Mallory and her children eventually arrive in a forest. Now they are walking there. The man on the radio had said he had a lot of birds, so Mallory was chasing the sounds of birds. She then begins to hear the sound of those strange creatures. She runs away from there and falls down. Her children had gone away from her, but somehow she found them and started walking again. It was very difficult for these people to reach this place. Mallory knocks at the door, and they are called inside. They check to see if she is mental or not. Then they take off their blindfolds and check their eyes to ensure they are fine. After being cleared, they are called in. Mallory was no longer blindfolded. She finds a lot of normal people there. There were also trees and plants. That place was a blind school, and they were still safe because they couldn't see. These people had created a small world inside the school. When Mallory's children see this, they get happy because it was the first time they had seen children like themselves in these plants. Mallory and her children started living here, and they survived. The movie ends here.